you could be working out, eating healthy, and still losing muscle every single week and not even know why. The truth is, there's one key nutrient your body desperately needs to maintain strength, especially as you age, and if it's missing, your muscles will slowly shrink, your energy will drop, and your metabolism will crash. Most people overlook this food completely, but without it, your body goes into silent breakdown mode. Fix this now before the damage becomes irreversible. Before we name this vital element, let us first acknowledge the quiet, often insidious, ways in which our muscular foundation can begin to erode. It is not always a dramatic collapse, but more often a slow, steady decline, like a riverbank gradually worn away by a persistent current. You might notice it first as a decreased stamina for activities you once enjoyed, a quicker onset of fatigue. Perhaps lifting objects that were once manageable now requires more effort, or you find yourself needing more rest after physical exertion. It can manifest as a subtle change in your posture, a less defined contour to your limbs, or even an increased susceptibility to minor strains and injuries because the supporting structures are no longer as robust. This isn't solely the concern of athletes or bodybuilders, those who consciously sculpt their physique. This touches every single one of us, for our muscles are far more than instruments of movement or aesthetic appeal. They are the silent, tireless engines of our metabolism, the guardians of our joints, the scaffolding that supports our organs, and a critical reservoir of strength that allows us to navigate the demands of life with grace and independence. When this vital tissue begins to diminish, it is not just strength that we lose, it is a measure of our resilience, our energy, our very capacity to engage fully with the world. This silent disappearance is a call to awareness, a signal that something fundamental in our nourishment is being overlooked. Our muscles are not static structures, set in place and forgotten. They are dynamic, living tissues, constantly undergoing a process of breakdown and repair, of renewal and regeneration. Every movement we make, every moment of activity, even the quiet work of maintaining our posture as we sit or stand, places demands on these fibers. To meet these demands, to repair the microscopic wear and tear, and to maintain their mass and function, our bodies require a consistent, readily available supply of specific building materials. Without these materials, the balance tips. The body, in its innate wisdom and faced with a deficit, will begin to prioritize. And in that prioritization, if the essential components for muscle maintenance are not provided through our diet, it will begin to scavenge them from existing muscle tissue itself. This is not a malicious act of self-sabotage by the body, but a desperate measure to obtain what it needs for even more critical, immediate life-sustaining functions when the external supply is insufficient. The tragedy is that this process can occur so gradually, so subtly, that we often attribute its effects to just getting older or being out of shape, without realizing that a specific nutritional key is missing from our daily intake. We might try to exercise more, which is indeed beneficial, but if the foundational building blocks are absent from our diet, exercise alone cannot prevent this muscular decline. In fact, without adequate nutritional support, strenuous exercise can sometimes even accelerate the breakdown if the body doesn't have the resources to repair and rebuild. It's like asking a master builder to construct a magnificent temple but failing to provide them with stone and mortar. Their skill is undeniable, but their hands are tied by the lack of essential materials. So too, our body's innate capacity to maintain and strengthen itself is hamstrung when we neglect this one crucial dietary component. We have touched upon the silent erosion and the vital, ongoing need for repair within our muscular system. But what exactly is this fundamental building material, this specific type of food that is so absolutely critical for preventing our muscles from disappearing? And how is it that so many of us, even with seemingly abundant diets, can fall short? The answer to these questions is drawing nearer, and with it, the power to consciously reverse this trend. The next piece of this puzzle will illuminate the very essence of this indispensable nutrient. Stay with me, for this revelation is the cornerstone of understanding your body's strength. The food we speak of, or more accurately, the critical nutrient within food that is indispensable for muscle preservation and growth, is protein. It is as simple and as profoundly important as that. Protein, derived from the Greek word protos, meaning first or primary, truly lives up to its name. It forms the very bedrock of our physical structure. Every cell in your body contains protein. It is the primary component of your muscles, organs, skin, hair, and nails. Beyond structure, proteins are the workhorses of the body, forming enzymes that catalyze biochemical reactions, hormones that regulate bodily functions, antibodies that defend against illness, and hemoglobin that transports oxygen. But for our current focus, its role as the fundamental building block of muscle tissue is paramount. When you consume protein-rich foods, your digestive system breaks them down into their constituent parts, known as amino acids. These amino acids are then absorbed into your bloodstream and transported throughout your body, where they become the raw materials for building and repairing tissues, including, most notably, your muscles. Think of amino acids as individual Lego bricks. Your body takes these bricks and assembles them into the precise structures it needs, in this case, new muscle protein to replace old or damaged fibers, or to build additional muscle tissue in response to the stimulus of exercise. If your diet does not provide a sufficient and consistent supply of these amino acid bricks, your body faces a critical shortage. It cannot simply conjure these essential components out of thin air. And so, when new muscle protein is needed for repair or maintenance, which is a constant, ongoing process, and the dietary supply is lacking, the body turns inward. It begins to break down existing muscle tissue, a process known as catabolism, to liberate the amino acids it so desperately requires for other vital functions or for the repair of more critically stressed tissues. This is the mechanism by which your muscles can literally begin to disappear, to diminish in mass and strength, not because of a lack of effort on your part, but because of a fundamental lack of raw materials. This is not merely about the quantity of food you eat, but the quality, specifically the protein content. You could be consuming an abundance of calories from carbohydrates and fats, but if the protein component is insufficient, your muscles will still suffer. Carbohydrates and fats are primarily sources of energy, the fuel that powers your body's activities. Protein, on the other hand, is the primary building and repair material. It's like trying to build a house with plenty of electricity energy from carbs and fats, but an insufficient supply of bricks and timber protein. The lights may be on, but the structure itself will be weak and may begin to crumble. Understanding this distinction is crucial. Many modern diets, while perhaps high in processed foods, sugars, and refined carbohydrates, can be surprisingly deficient in high-quality, readily available protein, leading to this silent epidemic of muscle loss, even in individuals who are not overtly under-eating. Now that we have identified protein as the critical, indispensable nutrient for muscle health, the obvious question arises: where do we find this vital substance, and how can we ensure we are incorporating enough of its diverse forms into our daily lives? Understanding the rich tapestry of protein sources is the next step in empowering ourselves to halt, and even reverse, the silent disappearance of our muscular strength. The journey from knowledge to practical application is where true transformation begins. Let us explore these nourishing pathways together, for the abundance of nature provides generously if only we know where to look and what to choose. Protein is not a monolithic entity. It is found in a wide array of foods, both from animal and plant sources, each offering a unique profile of amino acids and accompanying nutrients. Recognizing these sources and understanding their value is key to building a diet that supports muscular health and overall vitality. Animal-based proteins are often considered complete proteins because they typically contain all 9 essential amino acids, those that our bodies cannot synthesize on their own, and must obtain from food in proportions that are well suited for human needs. These include meats, poultry like chicken and turkey, red meats such as beef and lamb, and pork. Opting for leaner cuts can provide high-quality protein without excessive saturated fat. Fish and seafood, salmon, tuna, cod, shrimp, and other varieties are excellent sources of protein, and many, particularly fatty fish like salmon, also provide beneficial omega-3 fatty acids. Eggs, a veritable powerhouse of nutrition, eggs offer high-quality, easily digestible protein along with vitamins and minerals. The protein is found in both the white and the yolk. Dairy products, milk, yogurt, especially Greek yogurt, which is exceptionally high in protein, and cheese are significant sources of protein, particularly casein and whey, which are well regarded for muscle synthesis. Plant-based proteins, while sometimes needing more careful combination to ensure all essential amino acids are consumed over the course of the day, offer a wealth of health benefits, including fiber, antioxidants, and various phytonutrients. Excellent plant sources include legumes, lentils, beans, black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, etc. Peas and edamame are protein staples in many cultures, offering both protein and fiber. Soy products, tofu, tempeh, and soy milk are derived from soybeans, a complete plant protein. Nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, peanuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, and hemp seeds provide protein along with healthy fats and other micronutrients. Nut butters are also a convenient option. Whole grains. While primarily known for carbohydrates, some whole grains like quinoa, which is a complete protein, oats, brown rice, and whole wheat products contribute a surprising amount of protein to the diet. Certain vegetables, though not as concentrated as other sources, vegetables like spinach, broccoli, and asparagus also contain protein. The beauty of this diversity is that it allows for flexibility and choice, catering to various dietary preferences, ethical considerations, and cultural traditions. The key is not necessarily to favor one source over another exclusively, but to incorporate a variety of protein-rich foods into your meals and snacks throughout the day. This not only helps ensure a balanced intake of all essential amino acids, but also provides a broader spectrum of other beneficial nutrients that work synergistically to support overall health, not just muscle maintenance. For those following vegetarian or vegan diets, paying particular attention to combining different plant protein sources, for example, beans with rice, lentils with bread throughout the day can help ensure a complete amino acid profile is achieved. It's about understanding that nature has provided abundantly, and our task is to choose wisely and consistently from this bounty. We have identified protein as the crucial nutrient and explored its diverse sources in both the animal and plant kingdoms. But a pivotal question remains: simply knowing what to eat is only half the equation. How much protein do we truly need? Is there an optimal way to consume it for maximum benefit? These practical considerations are where knowledge transforms into tangible results, where understanding blossoms into sustained vitality. The next steps in our discussion will illuminate these vital details, offering guidance to help you tailor this wisdom to your own unique life and needs. The most actionable part of this journey, the part that empowers you to truly make a difference in your own physical well-being, is just ahead. Please stay with me. Determining the precise amount of protein an individual needs is not a one-size-fits-all prescription. It can vary based on several factors, including age, sex, body weight, activity level, and overall health goals. However, we can explore some general guidelines and principles that offer a solid foundation for most adults seeking to preserve or build muscle and maintain vitality. A common recommendation from many health organizations for the average sedentary adult is around 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. To calculate this, you would convert your weight from pounds to kilograms, divide pounds by 2.2, and then multiply it by 0.8. For example, a person weighing 150 pounds, approximately 68 kilograms, would aim for around 54 grams of protein daily. 68 kilograms x 0.8 g per kilogram equals 54.4 g. However, it is crucial to understand that this is often considered a minimum to prevent deficiency, not necessarily the optimal amount for preserving muscle mass, especially as we age or if we are physically active. For individuals who are regularly active, engaging in resistance training, or specifically aiming to build or maintain muscle mass, protein needs are significantly higher. Recommendations in these cases often range from 1.2 to 2.0 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, or even slightly more for highly competitive athletes. Using our 150 pounds 68 kilograms individual as an example again, this would translate to a range of approximately 82 to 136 grams of protein per day. Older adults also appear to benefit from slightly higher protein intakes, perhaps in the range of 1.0 to 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight, even if they are not intensely active, to help counteract the natural tendency towards age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia. Beyond the total daily amount, the distribution of protein intake throughout the day is also a key factor for maximizing its benefits for muscle health. Instead of consuming the majority of your protein in one large meal, which is a common pattern for many, research suggests that spreading your protein intake more evenly across your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and perhaps including protein-rich snacks, is more effective for stimulating muscle protein synthesis. Aiming for roughly 20-30 grams of high-quality protein per main meal can be a good target for many adults. This provides a consistent supply of amino acids to your muscles throughout the day, supporting their ongoing repair and maintenance processes. Think of it like watering a garden. A gentle, consistent watering throughout the day is far more beneficial than a single, overwhelming deluge followed by a long drought. Similarly, providing your muscles with a steady stream of amino acids allows them to thrive, rather than experiencing periods of feast and famine. This approach also tends to be more satiating, helping with appetite regulation and potentially supporting healthier overall eating patterns. Learning to incorporate protein into each meal doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as ensuring eggs or Greek yogurt at breakfast, lean meat or lentils at lunch, and fish or tofu at dinner, with nuts or a protein-rich smoothie as a snack if needed. And now, my friend, we arrive at the heart of the matter, the truly surprising and most encompassing piece of this wisdom, the understanding I promised would offer the most profound empowerment. We have identified protein as the cornerstone nutrient for muscle preservation, explored its rich and varied sources, and discussed the practicalities of how much and how often to consume it. But the deepest revelation is not merely about this single nutrient in isolation. It is about recognizing the profound interconnectedness of this one dietary choice with your entire state of being, your vitality, your longevity, and your capacity to live a full, strong, and engaged life. The true surprise is not just that protein prevents muscle loss, but that prioritizing this fundamental building block has a cascade of positive effects that ripple throughout your entire physiology and well-being, far beyond the muscles themselves. Adequate protein intake supports a healthy metabolism, aids in blood sugar regulation, strengthens your immune system as antibodies are proteins, contributes to healthy skin and hair, and plays a role in hormone production and neurotransmitter function, which influences your mood and cognitive clarity. When your muscles are well nourished and strong, you are more resilient to injury, you have more energy for daily life, your bones are better supported, and you maintain a greater degree of functional independence as you age. It is a foundational pillar that supports the entire edifice of your health. The silent disappearance of muscle is not just a cosmetic concern or an issue for athletes. It is a quiet indicator of a deeper imbalance, a sign that the body is not receiving the fundamental resources it needs to thrive. By consciously choosing to incorporate sufficient, high-quality protein into your diet, distributed thoughtfully throughout your day, you are not just eating food, you are actively participating in the renewal and strengthening of your physical temple. You are providing the essential materials for vitality. This conscious choice, this simple yet profound act of nourishing your body with what it fundamentally needs, is an act of profound self-respect and self-care. This is not about dietary dogma or rigid rules, but about mindful awareness and empowered choice. Listen to your body. Observe how you feel when you prioritize protein. Notice the subtle shifts in your energy, your strength, your recovery. The most good information, the most powerful wisdom, is that which you integrate into your life and experience for yourself. Your body is an intelligent system, and when you provide it with the right building blocks, it has an incredible capacity to heal, to strengthen, and to sustain its vitality. Let the knowledge that protein is indispensable be your starting point, a gentle guide to reclaiming and preserving the precious gift of your physical strength and well-being, so you can continue to engage with life fully, vibrantly, and with enduring resilience. If these words have resonated with you, if they have sparked a new understanding or a renewed commitment to your own well-being, I encourage you to share this insight with those you care about. The gift of knowledge, especially when it pertains to our fundamental health, is a precious one. And if you wish to continue exploring the paths to a more harmonious and vibrant life, consider joining our community by subscribing for more reflections. Thank you for your presence, for your willingness to learn and grow. May you nourish your body with wisdom, and may your strength be a faithful companion on your life's journey.